Hey, come on in. I heard the weather report that said the roads might get bad. I'm glad they were wrong, and I'm really glad you could make it. Mm-hmm. I am. It's good to see you. Let me take your coat. Here, I can even help you get it off. I'll just hang it in the coat closet. I just got the pizza ordered, so it should be here in 20 minutes, give or take. And I'm actually really excited to show you the movie. It's this French art house film I got introduced to in college and fell completely in love with. Brotherhood of the Wolf. Oh, God, no, I absolutely didn't paint that. The only thing I've ever painted are walls, and trust me when I say that's the only thing you ever want me to paint. I found that at one of those boutique art gallery places I told you about off the town square. It just really spoke to me, as cheesy as it sounds. The colors, the movement in it. It's bright, and it sort of reminds me of the. Anyway, I just couldn't leave the shop without it when I found it. Support small businesses and local artists and things that feed your soul and all that. And it fits perfectly with the way I'd already decorated anyway. It was like I was meant to have it. Hmm? Oh, no, blackout curtains aren't my thing. They almost feel oppressive to me. Sunlight is a problem, but keeping the blinds closed is enough. Usually. It can get a little dicey with the vertical ones. They just swing too easy, and the gaps can get a little precariously large. But these? Oh, these are perfect. What? Wait, were you expecting a coffin? Oh my god, you were, weren't you? Is everything alright? You look like something's bothering you. Of course we can sit. Yeah. Here, let's sit on the couch. What's going on? I've sort of been expecting this. That conversation the other night went a little too smoothly, and you took it really well. I was grateful at the time, but looking back, you probably thought I was crazy, or making up a story, or something. I'm not saying you're wrong to be skeptical or to doubt me. I probably wouldn't have believed me either. It sounds completely ridiculous. Because vampires aren't real, right? I I wish I had some way to definitively prove it to you. But I don't. My heart still beats, so you can absolutely take my pulse. And if you put your head on my chest, you definitely hear it. If you cut me, I bleed. Human food doesn't do anything for me on a nutritional level, but I can eat it. I can't really perform much other magic, so short of going out into the sun, which I have zero intention of doing, or biting you. Oh, I am a complete and total idiot. No, I'm not biting you. That's That's a conversation we can have in a minute. Do you trust me? Even a little? Or I wouldn't be sitting on your couch in your apartment. Touche. All right. I'm gonna let my fangs descend. Here, look. Watch it happen if you want. It's pretty quick. I'm sure part of you is wondering if this is a trick. Maybe I've got a device that causes false teeth to slide down over my real ones. Maybe I'm holding my mouth in a certain way to trigger it, or maybe I'm using a press of my tongue. Except I've been talking to you the whole time. There wasn't a way for me to do either of those things and you not see it. But here's the proof in the pudding, as my mom used to say. I'm gonna bite my own wrist. It won't be bad. I'm not gonna tear it open or anything. But it's definitely going to bleed. You want to check my wrist out before I do? Make sure I don't have a piece of prosthetic skin on or a squib hidden underneath anything. All right. Here goes. The, the taste of your own blood is always really weird. Just in case you ever wanted to know. But you probably didn't. And now I'm gonna use what little healing magic I know to take care of it. Wanna inspect it before I do? And there you go. That's the best way I know of to prove it to you. I don't know if that's proof enough or not, but I really, really hope it is. I've never had to reveal this to anyone who mattered before. Normally, when I do, which I generally try to avoid if I can, it's because I need a meal or a snack, and then I make them forget. It's never been anything that needed to make sense before. But now, it does. It really does. Really? Oh, thank God. Could I... Can I kiss you? My fangs are retracted. It's safe, I swear. Thank you. Mm. Mm. I know this has to be really weird for you. I'm sorry about that, just for the record. If you have any questions, I want to answer them for you. I know it's a lot. It's a lot to take in at once, and it's a lot to try to make sense of, especially without having been magical beforehand. Okay, we can absolutely start with basics. Sunlight is bad, but it isn't immediate death. Crosses don't do jack shit. We can't turn into bats or smoke or anything else. We don't need to ask permission to enter anywhere, but those of us raised by parents who taught us manners definitely still do ask. Garlic is one of the best tasting aromatics, and I will hear no argument on that. So if that's a deal breaker for you, you better tell me now. Good. It was a gamble that you might say it was a deal breaker, but garlic is important enough to gamble like that on. It is. And I'll stand by that too. Mm-hmm. What else? Oh, biting doesn't turn someone. Not on its own, at least. It takes multiple layers of magic to do that, and I couldn't turn someone even if I wanted to anyway. That's a lot more complicated and requires a lot more magical, or at least vampirical, history to really understand. I don't even grasp all of it, truth be told. The short version is that a vampire has to be a certain age before they can turn someone. And even then, it isn't an automatic process. There's other magic involved. Magic you aren't even taught until you've been a vampire long enough to perform it. Oh, and that's another thing, too. We aren't actually immortal or undead. We did all die, or close enough to it. The magic that turns a person requires that they be alive in order to work. But that doesn't mean it doesn't thoroughly and completely change us either. That's part of how the magic works. It saves you, but it doesn't mean you're alive in the way you think of it or know it now. And what it grants in exchange isn't true immortality. We're just incredibly long-lived. It grants other things, too. A few physical perks and some minor abilities and a couple of other magics. Healing and extremely limited memory modification. No, I've never used that on you. And I won't. I promise. I knew that was going to be the next thing you asked. The magic that makes me what I am is really complex in a lot of ways I don't understand yet. And this is part of it. You see, biting someone to feed isn't personal. Not usually. It's a biological necessity for me that happens to feel good, really good, for the person being bitten. That's all thanks to the magic, and it isn't something I control. But when you're in a relationship with someone, it's different. It's intimate. The magic of the bite sort of reflects back so that both people, the vamp and the person being bitten, feel it. And while this is still very new, and I wouldn't venture or dare to call this a true relationship yet, I do like you a lot. And that experience isn't something I want to rush. When I bite you, I want it to be because we're both ready for it. I appreciate that. And thank you for being willing to take this leap of logic. I know it goes against anything you've ever known, and I wouldn't have blamed you for walking right back out the door. I'm glad you didn't, though. Really glad. Yeah, I mean, eating an entire pizza all by myself would have been a real chore. Well, it would have been. Even before I was a vamp, that would have been a lot. Honestly, though, thank you. I mean it. Speaking of the pizza, though, it should be here any minute. And that is what we call perfect timing. You grab it while I set up the movie? Deal. Thanks, cutie.